Joining us for a conversation is Shawn Khunkhun of Dolly Varden Silver, which continues to advance one of the largest, high-grade, undeveloped precious metal assets in BC's Golden Triangle. Mr. Khunkhun, welcome to the show.
Maurice, thanks for having me on.
Well, great to have you on the program, sir, as Dolly Varden Silver has just released some remarkable high-grade gold results, this time coming from the Homestake Ridge property. Mr. Khunkhun, we can't wait for you to share the details with us. But before we begin, for first-time listeners, please introduce us to Dolly Varden Silver.
Okay, so Dolly Varden is a silver and gold company located in Canada. We're in a part of Canada known as the Golden Triangle. So on the northwest corner of British Columbia, just south of Alaska, is a mining camp, one of the most historic mining camps in the world, where there's two operating mines run by the world's largest gold producer, Newmont. And our project is just south of the famous Brucejack mine. And there is a long history in the area, Maurice, that goes back about 100 years. Mines like the Premier mine that Ascot is taking back into production, the Eskay Creek mine, which Barrick operated, one of the richest gold mines on the planet. And so we have been exploring and building a mineral inventory just south of that highly prospective area.
Mr. Khunkhun, take us on site to the Kitsault Valley Project, which just announced more spectacular results from its 2023 step-out drilling program at the Homestake Ridge property, which intersected a new gold-rich zone to the northwest from the Homestake Silver deposit. Mr. Khunkhun, I have a map of Figure 2 on the screen, beginning with hole 389. Please walk us through the results, sir.
Sure. I want to put some context around the results in that what your audience has to appreciate, especially some first-time listeners, the company has a mineral endowment in all categories of about 64 million ounces of silver and 1 million ounces of gold. So if we express this in a silver equivalent, it's about 140 million ounces of silver, which represents about 50% silver and 50% gold. If you go up to the Homestake side of the project, where about 20 million ounces of silver and 1 million ounces of gold are located, there's two main deposits that host that resource. What the company has done with this drill result is we're moving away from the silver gold dominated Homestake silver deposit, and there's about a 350 meter gap going to the gold dominated Homestake main. On a 50 meter step out, we just hit the best gold intercept the property's ever seen, which was 12.5 meters of about 80 grams per ton of gold, which is an exceptional intercept. But what makes it very significant is you've got a silver and gold deposit where we just put out results that were almost 94 meters of 357 grams per ton silver equivalent. So, you've got about 12 ounces of silver EQ per ton over almost 100 meters. Now, about 75 meters away, you've got this 12.5 meters of 80 grams of gold. And so we're moving away from the silver gold dominated zone to now a gold zone. And if you look at the core, Maurice, the depositional setting and style and the quartz carbonate stockwork veining is reminiscent of Newmont's Brucejack mine. So what's exciting to me is not only is this a step out, not only is this the best gold intercept the project's ever seen, we're into a setting that looks like Brucejack.
I'm speechless here, because you look at all the work that's been done there previously with Fury, and now the highest grade, 2.5 ounces of gold. That's ridiculous. I asked you prior to the show, does your team have the cheat code to basically the Golden Triangle? Because every time you release a press release, it is high grade, never disappointing.
if you look at how we started the year, and we've been building on years of success. Like, I didn't think we could outdo the work we did in 2022. Some of the highlight drill holes in 2022 were 15 meters of 1,500 grams of silver right at surface, 46 grams of gold over 25 meters. How do you outdo results like that? Well, the team has, getting 27 meters of 461 grams of silver EQ at Wolf, getting the 93 meters of 357 EQ at Homestake Silver, and now with this monster gold intercept of 12.5 meters of 80 grams per ton gold. They're outshining, and it's building, and the results are getting better and better and better. And what's interesting about this new gold zone, and there's some incredible visuals in the press release. If you look at where Homestake Silver is, and you just look north where Homestake Main is, this result looks to be projecting below Homestake Main. So the next step is to get back out there and to follow up and try to expand and extend this new zone.
Oh, we're looking forward to that. And speaking of that next step, so I wanted to find out first, are all of the results in from the 2023 drill program?
They are.
All right. I don't know if your team has had an opportunity to really digest everything, but what are the next steps here?
Well, what we're doing right now is we had a lot of success at Wolf. We had a lot of success at Homestake Silver, and this new step out success heading up to Homestake Main. But there was a lot of other parts of the project that also delivered. I don't even talk about it, but for example, in this press release that contained almost 50 drill holes, there was a big base metal hit near a deposit called North Star. Earlier in the season, there was a big silver intercept at the Kitsault vein, which is part of the Torbrit resource. So what I've challenged the team to do is something we do every year at Dolly Varden, where we rank and prioritize the targets, and then we'll allocate a budget to those targets. So we'll be coming out with a detailed plan for the next round of drilling very, very soon. And I'm happy to come back on, Maurice, and share the details of that plan with you when it's finalized.
Oh, we're looking forward to hearing that, sir. Leaving the project site, let's look at some numbers. Please provide the capital structure for Dolly Varden Silver.
So it hasn't changed since the last time I was with you. We still have 270 million shares issued and outstanding, and we still have about 90% of that held by some very, very large corporate, institutional, and notable shareholders like Eric Sprott, like Hecla Mining, and like institutions including Fidelity.
Can you give us a little feedback behind the scenes? What are they sharing with you based on all these results that are coming out?
I think actions speak louder than words, and I think Hecla putting $10 million into the company. We closed that financing in early November, and they increased their stake from 10% to 15%, really validates the progress we're making technically at site.
Before we close, what would you like to say to shareholders?
Just thank you. We're in an environment right now where I watch the market, I watch the Newmonts and the Barricks of the world, and every mining company, up until about Tuesday, with the latest economic data sending the gold price down a little bit, the trend has been lower to start the year, and Dolly Varden's share price has gone sideways. And I think we are drastically undervalued. I think there's incredible prospectivity here. I think this is a company that will be revalued up in multiples potentially going forward. But I just have to say that it's our loyal shareholders that are sticking with us, that are adding to their positions. And I understand why. We're delivering some class drill intercepts, but I just wanted to really, from the whole team here, we thank you for your loyalty, for your support, and you're giving us a chance to continue to go out and deliver.
I appreciate the context there, sir. I want to go back to one more question here before we leave the site. What are the chances in the updated MRE?
Yeah, that is the plan, is to go out and drill this thing out and put out a resource and to stamp it in time so that we have a sense of how much growth that we've had over the last couple of seasons, and so that the chances are very, very high, Maurice.
All right. Last question, sir. What did I forget to ask?
I think you got it all, Maurice. One thing we could touch on is Dolly Varden was sold out of one of the silver ETFs, which I think further highlights an opportunity to investors. There was a day there a few weeks back where we traded some pretty heavy volume, heightened volume. Millions and millions and millions of shares were just sold indiscriminately, and so I think there is an opportunity to, the companies that are in the indexes and the ETFs trade at a premium to those that aren't. And I think that there's a great opportunity to buy names that are not in the index. I think right now that we're not in the main index, there is an incredible opportunity to buy our shares at a discount, in my opinion.
Well, I second that, sir. I'm an active buyer 4 years now, and I have not sold a single share. I'm adding to my position monthly. Mr. Khunkhun, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Wishing you and Dolly Varden Silver the absolute best, sir.
Thank you so much, Maurice. All the best.
The information presented on Khunkhun and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker.